Willie D Live.
Do you think you have another Who Run It in you?
Probably not. Probably not, man. Probably not.
So what are you doing? You gotta be still making music.
Oh, I still make music. Shit, I was just in the studio. I got a whole album coming out with me and Krayzie Bone. It's jamming.
Yeah?
Yeah, me and Krayzie Bone. I got another one with me and Young Buck.
That's dope.
Me and Young Buck. And then I saw Krayzie Bone name right there in the studio on the wall.
Yeah,
Lazy Bone too. They're my boys.
Bone.
I was just in the studio with Krayzie Bone yesterday.
Yeah.
Literally yesterday. We made 2 new songs. We got one with me, him, and Akon in the drop. And I still make music. But like Who Run It, that was a different time, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
that was one of my favorite beats I ever made. So like, it took me 2 takes to make that beat. It was originally a different kind of beat. It was like scary music with pianos and shit that I played. And then I wanted to just totally flip it and make it more like New York style. Because a lot of my production, I kind of based it off of New York style, because that's what I grew up listening to. Outside of y'all, I was listening to a lot of New York rap. Because obviously I was listening to New York rap before y'all. New York was here before all of us. And so I have little hints of that in my music too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Who Run It, man? Man, how many of those challenge songs did people do?
Man, it was thousands of those motherfuckers. It was so many of them, it made me actually stop liking the song. It made me stop, because there was so many bad ones. It was some good ones. But there was
Who you think did
so
the best
many
one?
bad ones. Huh?
Who you think did the best one? The best version of it?
Me.
Obviously, besides you.
I would have to listen back. I think
Herbo.
Herbo started the whole thing. Oh, I think one of my favorite ones, it was 21 Savage, actually. I think he had a really good one, because I remember he had one. I don't remember everybody's, but I just know it was so many of them, man. I was like, oh, God, man, please make this stop. It was like a dream that would never stop ending. You ever had a dream? I was just talking about this coming from the airport. You ever had a dream, a bad dream, and then you wake up from it, go back to sleep, and that same dream come back on? That ever happen to you?
A few times.
Yeah. I had that happen to me 3 times in my life. One time was last week. I had a nightmare. It was a dream about some motherfuckers. I got into some shootouts and some crazy shit. Woke up, went back to sleep. It came back on. Woke up again. It came back on again. I was like, what?
now, at what point in the dream did you wake up?
I don't remember.
Right before you got killed or something, or somebody was shooting at you, something
crazy
like
shit
that?
Like that. I don't remember.
Because that's typically how my dreams is go. If I have a violent dream, and I'm part of the violence, typically when I'm about to get hurt, I wake up.
That's when you wake up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't wake up in like in the middle of some the good shit. You wake up in the middle of the bad shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it goes. But it's because I watch all these fucking crime shows before I go to bed.
See, I had to stop doing that.
Yeah, see, I recently I recently just made myself stop doing that.
Yeah, that energy is something else, man. It's real.
It's real.
Because you feed your brain that type of energy, those negative
before
thoughts
bed?
like that, especially before bed. And that used to be one of my favorite pastimes, to watch those type of shows, because they're 30-minute shows. They're better than some of the corny comedy stuff that's on. So, and it's real life stuff. I mean, it's stuff that I'm interested in, that type of stuff.
Yeah, I would rather see a story about a real motherfucker that's going around doing this than an actor.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm interested in that type of stuff, but it does something wicked to your brain.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. Like, I've dated some people that, I've dated some females that they was like, they couldn't sit in the room with me and watch it. They're like, no, I can't watch this.
Yeah. I had to actually, I didn't break myself from it. This young lady broke me from it, because she was like, I can't. At first, I used to get offended when she said, I can't watch that. I'm not going to watch that. Yeah. No, I'm not going to watch that. I don't watch that. It's not good energy, and I'm not going to feed into anything that doesn't feed my soul, and da-da-da. And I'm like, go in the other room or something. But, I liked her company more than I liked watching those shows. So I was like, all right,
Yeah.
I'll acquiesce.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
My situation was like that too, basically. But you know, she would sit up and she'd just be like, you know, while I watch it, she like, you know, I'm still want to hang out with you. She just started editing pictures on her phone or doing some other shit while I'm sitting up there and watching it. But she wouldn't lay eyes on it except for something really dramatic happened. Then she'd look for a second. Then she'd look out. And I'd be like, man,
and then when she looked, she say, what'd she say? That's horrible. Oh.
Yeah, she'd be like, that's fucking horrible. But I'd be like, man, you know, this shit is educational. Like, you should know shit like this. You know, like, you should know stuff like this. Because, you know, she was so into, she come from another place where it was like, it was no violence like that.
Yeah.
You know, so like, I'm like, where I come from, fucking Black Haven, Memphis, Tennessee, we saw this shit on a daily. Oh, crazy in Memphis.
So you said Black Haven. So y'all call White Haven Black Haven?
I made that up. It's tattooed on my arm. I got that from my mama.
Yeah.
When we first moved out there in like 1983, my mom was like, I don't know why they call it White Haven. There ain't nothing but niggas out here. She said, they ain't called it Black Haven. I went and got that patent.
Yeah. Black Haven.
BHZ.
South Memphis.
South Memphis.
Yeah. Man, let's talk. You mentioned Krayzie Bone doing a album with Krayzie Bone. Let's talk about the Verzuz. That's probably caught some people by surprise because they obviously thought that was some real tension there. You know, I'm friends with you, and I'm friends with you and all of the guys at Bone Thugs and Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Yeah.
And they told me like, man, ain't nobody tripping. We ain't tripping on that. We cool. You know?
Man, we are cool.
But what was that? But what was that about though? You know?
It was cause I think Busy Bone, you know, and Busy Bone, my guy, you know, we cool. Obviously, we hugged at the end and this and that. But I just think while the show was going on, he started to take it a little more personal than, you know, everybody else was just kind of looking at it as just, you know, we just fucking around and joking on each other like brothers. But, you know, it probably just kind of flashed back to him from when we all had real beef when we was kids. Because, like, when we was teenagers, us and Bone, we was really into it.
Yeah.
Like, that was like a known beef in hip-hop. But, you know, after we started to see each other, we kind of ended up on the same label, Relativity Records. And
Relativity was in New York, right?
Yeah, New York.
Yeah.
We ended up doing a song. The first song we did with them was with Krayzie Bone on a Project Pat's first album. I think it was his first album, Get It Green. We did a song with Krayzie Bone, and that kind of made everything, be squashed. And now us and Bone, we see each other all the time. We got the same merch company and factory. We hang out all the time. I do shows in L.A., Lazy Bone and all the boys, they come to the show and just hang out with me, jump on stage and all that.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's what I like to see, man.
Yeah.
I like to see that, you know. I was a lot younger. I probably want to see a little action, but I love seeing that actually. And Boo was like the most. How did y'all get Boo to calm down, man? Because Boo was like turned all the way up.
Yeah, she was wildin'.
R.I.P. Gangsta Boo, man.
Yeah, R.I.P. Boo.
I had just spoken to Boo. I had told you that. I had just spoken to Boo like a couple of days before she died.
Yeah.
Well, like, man, how did y'all get Boo to calm down?
Because they took Busy off stage, and the whole show was paused for probably about, it felt like 15 minutes or something, but I know it wasn't that long. The whole show was probably paused for about 10 minutes. They took him to the back, and then, you know, he came back out, and, you know, we all hugged, and everybody was cool, and then we continued on with the show. But everything was just quiet for a minute. You know, everybody was looking at each other, and people from our side, youngsters, was jumping up on stage. People from their side, youngsters, was jumping up on the stage. Man, it was about to get bad in there. Really, really bad in there. But it didn't, though. because all of us knew that we didn't want to do that. We didn't want to go there. We didn't want to fight each other. We see each other all the time. So that's when I ran over there. I didn't hit nobody. I just ran over there to kind of shield Juicy and Boo from him throwing the bottles. But I wasn't going to cross that line where they had a little yellow taped off line for their side stage and our side stage. I want to run over that line and just start hitting people, because if I would have ran over that, then everybody from my side would have ran over there. Then it would have been like, 30, 40 motherfuckers fighting. And we didn't want to fight each other because we hang out with each other all the time. That would have changed the whole... Me and Krayzie Bone was already 4 songs deep into this album when that happened. So, it wouldn't have made no sense. Everything played out just how it should have been. Didn't nobody physically hit each other, none of that. The boys ran up, and I think it was more kind of like members of their crew and members of my crew that kind of, put hands on each other, but nobody in the groups were hit. And once it calmed down, everybody was back loving each other, and we ended it perfectly with all us hugging and doing their last song.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a great time.
Yeah. Do you keep in touch with Boo's family?
Yeah, I talk to her mom all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, I'm telling you, bro, that caught me off guard.
Yeah.
When I heard she died, that really caught me off guard, man. I was like, what?
Yeah,
she was such in good spirits.
I thought Boo would have been one of the last ones. But, you just can't, I cut off drugs a long time ago. Because it ain't like it was when we was in the 90s. Back in the day, we would sit up and do blow for 3-4 days. I remember one day I did do it for 4 days. I didn't even sleep. But it wasn't no fentanyl and shit like that back then. You know what I'm saying? You heard about people overdosing, and a lot of times they still lived, survived, you know what I'm saying? But ODing, it's a different time now. It's like you just can't be playing around like that no more.